Okay, I've had great action on the 1 minute chart template all week long. The short in the time window that I cover in all the videos that I trade did trigger short. Had a couple of ads, had an ad there and an ad there, in this mumbo jumbo, and whoosh, off to the races. Didn't surprise me. Had a feeling we'd be one and done. The 1 minute chart template. Yesterday I was one and done to the upside. Today I'm one and done to the downside. What was that? Prior day had a quick long, flipped to short, and then the short got us done. So two and done. And all week it's the 1 minute chart template's been solid as heck. So if anybody has any questions on the 1 minute chart template, of course, in the NT8 data and settings room, we have an updated version of it, plus a lot of other templates. And in the NT8 optimization room and the trade examples room, there's unending feedback from other traders, how they're using it, their templates, they're, you know, tweaking it a bit to personalize it for their own use. On a 150K account, only going for 710 a day. On the 150K account, I've been working a bit higher position size this week. Just I like where the market's at, what it's doing. I'm not thinking there's going to be like range bound activity. It seems like with the Fed day going forward, we're going to have range expansion, and that's what we're getting. So I bumped my position size and ended the week pretty quick. I think I was done somewhere right in here, right after it did that other ad and broke lower with the size I was on. I remember hearing the order filled thing, and it was out of the trade. So, but nice rundown. The area I was thinking at a minimum we would test, and I did like this morning seeing that even though we're already in a long prior to the time window that I trade on the 1 minute template, this secondary, we had a couple rotational pushes that failed, and then seeing it come down, I was very glad to be short. Seeing the automation trigger me into the short for the one and done day, another one and done day this week. And I'll show you there was a level that I was watching that I thought for sure we would go down and challenge at some point today. Yeah, right there. That was the level. Thought for sure when I saw us trigger short, we'd at least get down to there. So I was going to be watching that. And remember, I put up recent videos how I trade the iGRID system with the 1 minute chart template. Some fantastic training. I think I put it in the NT8 and the price action rooms, if I'm not mistaken. So I thought if we can bust below there, we'll get a little bit of range extension, and that should get me done, and that did happen. So they came right above it, played around a few times, and then that second ad having me then an even higher position size in the push, and that was it for me. Playing lighter normal position size, I would have easily gotten my 710 on the day, just like every other day this week. The 1 minute chart templates work great. Now we have other people doing 15-second charts and 30 and 47-second. And I know somebody in a 55 or 57. So everybody's kind of taken the 1 minute chart template and run off in their own direction, which is perfectly fine. That's what learning to optimize and personalizing your setup is all about. So anyhow, nice moves all week long. iGRID's been, pretty solid all week long. Then on the flip to flip mode, coming in prior to the time window when I typically would trade my 1 minute chart template, we did have a long that flipped to a short, and then the short paid nicely on that move, and that was it. So now I'm running some scenarios, or I'm running it almost 24 hours. Can't do it on a prop account as far as holding your positions over. So you have to make sure you're flat, of course, before the end of the trade day, and then you can reinitialize trade for any new signals the following day. But the European session hours have been decent on occasion, and so anyhow, I'm just studying that and looking at more data on what the viability is if I were to run it almost like running it all day long. So I'll do more of that coming up. But yeah, that was a good session, good overnight session from the end of the day yesterday, the selling that started. through the overnight session reopen into the EU session. We had a bit of selling. Then they came in and lifted it. We're hanging on to it, but right away, not too long after the U.S. cash session, we rolled over, and that was a one and done on that one for the U.S. session hours at least. Remember, if you're newer to the program, if you haven't gone through the training in the NTA training room, and there's a lot of important iGRID related training in the price action trading room, make sure you're not one of those that come into the program, spend a day or two, and you've gone through 1.04% of the training. Please spend some time. There's a lot of stuff that I put into that training that will really help you on taking advantage of how to use trading automated and so on. But anyhow, yeah, great day so far. If I were you, if you're done, turn off them charts, go do something. Don't even think about getting into any more trades the rest of the day. It could be a junk fest the deeper we get into the trade day. I like to get my hits early and get out of there before we get into a lot of bizarre institutional cleanup action. Some days they come in the later half of the day and clean up the markets to park it for the weekend, and that stuff can be some really back and forth and a lot of cyclical rotational activity that is just not even worth trading. You want to catch those first move or two days and get done as soon as possible, especially on a week where there's been some big news events leading up and prior to that Friday. So there you go. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll put up an ETA on when I'm going to put out all the training videos. Yesterday, lost a whole bunch of time on admin and related when I should have been working on videos. Oh well, that happens sometimes. And I'll get back to it today, and I'll be working on it tomorrow and into Sunday. But anyhow, take a look at how many hours of videos I have left to make, and then some other material I'm putting together related to the training. And then I'll put up an ETA, and we'll set an official launch date for Scalper uh, and uh, and get that going. So anyhow, just want to give you a quick touch base. And yeah, if for some reason you're having any issues with the 1 minute chart template, definitely contact me. I'll point you in the direction of some good training. We'll make sure you're on the right template. You've got it set up the right way. Shouldn't be missing out on all this easy action. Okay, if you have any questions, info@gridalgo.com. Talk to you guys later, and I'll keep posting updates in the Discord room today. Working on evaluating. The last thing I'm doing, I'm going to evaluate how much time it's going to take me to make the last chunk of videos. I have 5 separate categories that I'm making videos on as related to the entire use and capabilities of the scalper, different ways to use the tool. So that's what I'm going to evaluate, those 5 categories that I've been making videos of and what I have done so far, how much time it'll take me to wrap up the rest and get some other material together that I want to post into the NTA training room. Actually, no, I'll put it in the scalper training section, that new standalone room that I'm going to utilize for just the training related to scalper. So it's all kind of packaged in one area. And I'll sit down here shortly and kind of go through my head how much longer I think it'll take to get everything done on that, and then put up an ETA, and we'll go from there. So anyhow, you guys have a great morning, have a great weekend, and I'll give you updates later in the day or by early tomorrow. Thanks.